Welcome to the Beyond Jiu-Jitsu podcast. This is episode number 77, and today's episode is dedicated to my very illustrious co-host, Adam Childs, because it's all about annoying training partners.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so today we are talking about annoying training partners. I'm Kieren Lefebvre, a blue belt under the black belt sitting across from me, Adam Childs.
What's up, my man?
Yo, yo, yo. So before we get into...
Oh, you just got super gangster for
Yo,
that.
yo, yo, what up, G? I'm as white as cauliflower, mate.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring something up before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. And this isn't pre-planned, as has no idea what I'm about to bring up. And he hasn't heard this news yet.
Didn't you already get engaged?
No. I did, but that's not what this is about. Your favorite person, Joe Rogan, has officially started sponsoring ADCC. He is an official sponsor of ADCC.
My face
specifically,
hurts.
it's the Joe Rogan experience. Now,
My face hurts.
I was talking to Anthony, one of our training partners from the gym, about this morning, and we both agree that it is a very good thing for jiu-jitsu because the Joe Rogan experience is responsible for a lot of people, particularly a lot of our listeners, joining jiu-jitsu. I'm actually one of those people. I've spoken about that before. And I think that it is a beneficial thing for the sport that he's now putting his money where his mouth is, so to speak, and actually investing money into jiu-jitsu organizations, institutions, and events. And I hope that ADCC is the first of many. That's my take on it.
Yeah, that's what we really want. We want like ADCC and Joe Rogan and Flow Grappling. Let's just make like that
Monopoly.
whole community even more clicky, you know?
So
But
I'm looking at it by the positive side, right?
Yeah, you know who else?
I see the best in people.
You know who else also like helped a lot of people grow within the community and the industry.
I swear to God.
And who also like helped contribute to a lot of people becoming breakout stars and fucking Harvey Weinstein, bro.
Yeah, I knew this was coming. At first I thought you were going to say like Hitler.
No.
Guess who else? Then I was like, fucked, man.
Apparently this is just one of those, random facts, but it might not even be accurate because it's just, I don't know. I saw it on Reddit or something, but apparently in psychology or something, that's when you're talking about negotiating or arguing, it's deemed that whenever someone in the argument resorts to making a Hitler reference, they've by default lost the
100%,
argument.
100%. Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether I don't know.
I don't think anyone alive
side,
today can be compared to people like that. Anyway, I think that it's a positive thing because the more awareness, money effectively, and I don't know, spotlight on the sport. Yeah, okay, we could talk about the monopolization of Flow Grappling and ADCC, and they're in a big partnership, and now we've got the big powerhouse of Joe Rogan Experience joining in on that little click. You could look at it from that frame. Hopefully, though, I'm seeing that it could be a very beneficial thing for the sport. So that's the direction that I hope it goes in.
Like in what way? Because he's sponsoring, investing money. Well, money's money. Why don't we have Marlboro sponsor ADCC? Would you also be like, it's good, man, they're putting a lot of money into it?
But Marlboro is not a positive company, right?
Neither is the Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, 50% of us believe that it is. So either way, I think that it's an interesting thing.
Dogmatic bigotry powerhouse.
Yeah. Either way, I think that it's
Kieren still doesn't want to say a bad word in case one day Joe calls him up.
No, when Joe calls me up and says, Kieren, bruh,
you got to ditch that other dickhead.
Sick, yeah. Let's make it the Beyond Kieren and Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, your name can go first. Yeah. That's how good it is. By that stage, he's like, I don't know, he's gone a Harvey Weinstein route and he's just trying to save face.
No, Joe's a saint. Mate,
he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. I love him.
So knowledgeable and credible.
He wouldn't be an annoying training partner. Definitely not. He would be a very respectful training partner, unlike some people in this room.
Hi, everybody.
the awkward stare at the camera.
Yeah.
So, annoying training partners. What, in your opinion, what do you think? What's the one thing that? Obviously, we're going to talk about many, but if you could summarize it, like the first big thing that makes someone officially stamped an annoying training partner?
Oh, definitely when they say something along the lines of, I got into jiu-jitsu because of the Joe Rogan experience.
Shit. Oh, I ran full steam ahead into that one. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's lots of annoying training partners. I did not know this piece of knowledge that you just dropped on me, and I'm
still dissecting it.
Really sort of okay. Still processing it. You just wanted to throw me off my game before the episode.
Bro. Boom.
Yeah. Oh man, hang on. I've just got to digest that for a second. I don't know, man. Like, does that mean I'm going to have to see on one of those? What would you call those?
Are we back on the ADCC now?
Yeah, sorry, we're back on it. What would you call like a sponsorship board, or like
the poster,
or whatever,
or the banners,
and stuff. Does that are we literally? Am I going to be watching the ADCC and see fucking Joe Rogan's cartoon head from his logo?
Yeah, 100%. And you probably see Joe Rogan. He'll be there.
Look, I mean, man, he's welcome to be there. He's a black belt, and
he'll be featured. Like they always have a camera on him. Like he's the celebrity. I support it, man.
Of course, you support it. I'm like,
one day maybe I may not be as of a fan of Joe Rogan experience, maybe, and then we can both this can be like the Joe Rogan hater podcast. But at the moment, mate, he's up there.
I feel like part of me wonders if someone's listening to this who is like a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and they're like, man,
yeah, Jordan Peterson's listening to this, bro.
Like, this dude's got some issues with Joe Rogan. You got to let it go, bro. And
point to the doll where Joe Rogan hurt you. It's a little bit like that.
I feel like it's I'm just such not a fan that it's kind of I can't even have that. Oh,
it's a positive thing.
I'm not a fan, but whatever. It's almost like anything that he has something to do with.
It almost discredits it in your mind.
I know it's not a mature frame of mind, but I instantly hear that news and I'm like, I have zero interest in watching ADCC now, which is ridiculous, right? Because,
but you're self-aware. I get where you're coming from when you say it's monopolizing. I can totally get on board with that point. But yeah, I just see it as a positive thing. I think it's going to be good for the sport. That's my take.
Yeah, jokes aside, it is hard to deny how much, sort of indirect growth he's contributed to the sport by having a platform that he preaches how effective and how great jiu-jitsu is for life, So, whether you like him or not, you've got a guy who, what's he 1 million downloads an episode or something like that?
11
million.
Yep.
Oh, only 11. That's sad.
Per episode.
We get more than that.
Yeah, 100%. We get 20.
Yeah, we get 20
billion.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? But even if it were a tenth of that, right? It's you got someone who's got a platform where he has millions of listeners, and he has not a bad word to say about jiu-jitsu. Obviously, that does a lot of good things for jiu-jitsu.
I run into people all the time, particularly around my age and around the amount of time I've been training, that the more you not everyone wants to bring it up first, but a lot of people that you'll meet will be like, I joined jiu-jitsu because of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
A guy that dropped into our gym a couple of days ago, we had very similar background, very similar interests. And as it turned out, I think you brought it up as a joke.
I walked in.
We both joined jiu-jitsu because of Joe Rogan. And there's so many people like that.
They all have similar characteristics. Those sorts of people also believe that women shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Oh, whatever. That's bullshit, man. That's where I draw the line. Okay, now that we've had...
You can't call them women, all right? That's where I draw the line.
They're not people like us. I'm joking. Someone's going to clip that. No,
we're not big enough.
Yeah, I was about to say, no one
clip
gives a
shit
fuck.
and take it out of context.
No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Cool. Annoying training partners.
Yeah. So let's just get... instead of saving the worst for last, let's just get the worst one. Because I think when we think about annoying training partners... kind of think about potentially personality traits that make them annoying. At least I do. But there's one that is by default the worst.
A universal trait.
Well, it's not like this. I guess it would be attributed to a personality trait, but it's not they say something annoying or whatever. But
yeah. You still like their face.
yeah. The ugly dudes, they're the worst.
Yeah.
No, by far the worst is anyone who is unhygienic.
Yeah.
Like that's just a no-go.
Yep.
Oh, were you at the gym? Speaking of unhygienic, it's the first time I've ever said to someone, bro, you can't come in. I don't know if you were at the gym. This guy came in, just like walked in off the street and was like, oh yeah, jiu-jitsu, blah, blah, blah. He's like, and it was right before a class was starting. So he's like, oh, I want to do a trial class, blah, blah, blah. And I actually said to him, I was like, bro, like, did you just come from work or something? Do you like work at the fish markets or something?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I just got back. I was like fishing all day. And I was like, bro, like, I was like, you can't be in here. Like smelled so bad.
Really? Like a fish.
Dude, like next level.
Wow.
Like next level.
What a bug.
Like I've never experienced, like it was brutal. And I was like,
That's really interesting.
And I had to kick him out.
He probably couldn't even smell
No,
it.
he wouldn't have realized, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying anything, like there's nothing wrong with smelling like fish. If you go fishing all day, you're going to smell like fish and
Have a fucking
seawater
shower.
and whatever.
Like, yeah.
But it's like,
Man,
have a shower before you come to the gym.
Damn,
but yeah,
son.
that's obviously rank, and sometimes, if someone is just flat out unhygienic, that's not cool. And it's really on the gym owner to have addressed that, to had that conversation. I sold a gi this morning and the person was like, how often do I have to wash it? I'm like, after every class, bro. I said, look how gross you are right now. I think he was asking in jokingly, right? But you'd be surprised the amount of people who don't realize you have to wash it after every class.
That's so rank.
But yeah, anyone who's unhygienic, sometimes there's I wouldn't say this is a hygiene thing, but sometimes I'm sure anyone who's trained for long enough has been guilty of it where they've washed their gi, but they've put it on and they're like, oh, it still smells a bit funky. Like whether maybe they waited too long to wash it or it didn't dry properly and it's got that damp it's dry now, but it's got that like funky damp smell and you're like, it's
not quite dry enough.
Yeah. And it's, that's not, I don't think anyone's fault of being unhygienic, but it definitely sucks. Like, I mean, Kane, who unfortunately recently left the gym because he moved, he said he had that a few weeks back where then, in the class, he was like, oh, I'm not going to roll, my knees sore, blah, blah, blah. But then like the next day he told me, it was like, bro, he was like, my rashi was gross. He was like it was clean, but it hadn't dried properly, whatever. And he was like, man, I was so embarrassed because my rashi just was, just reeked so bad. He's like, I didn't want to roll because I felt so embarrassed.
What's your take on like no rash guards doing topless rolls? Do you have to ask permission or is it something that's all good? Like, do I need to sign a form? What's the go, bro?
Because me and Joey want to get together.
Because you see in like, some comps when it's all good, like, people compete without their rash guard on. So, I mean, if I'm going to go down that road, I want to get fucking used to it, right? Because it's different.
Yeah. Like if you got to think like if you were preparing for a rule set that allowed that, then I would be like, yeah, cool. But otherwise,
hygiene reasons or?
I mean, I don't even think it's like, I don't know. I'm not not a specialist in bacteria, but I don't know. A fair bit of sweat makes it through the rash guard onto the mat anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's less skin to mat contact. So I guess it would be more hygienic wearing a rash guard. But anyway, like I think unless you're preparing for a specific competition, just leave your rash guard on, bro.
So this is a hard no, right?
It's a pretty solid no.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah.
One thing I've been sitting on for a while, just in the back of my mind, when it comes to hygiene, everyone agrees that, if your gi or rash guard or whatever smells like shit and you're a bug, not a good time, right? And that makes you an annoying training partner. But on the flip side of that, some people, and this isn't exclusive to one person, I've noticed this on a few different people, they use too much washing detergent when they wash their gis. And when they go to roll, like literally all you can smell is that washing detergent, that real fragrant
it's
sense.
Usually, it's not like the detergent. It's usually when people wash with a fabric softener.
Oh, man, you should not wash with a fabric softener with your gi. And then like it's all slimy. The gi gets really slimy. And as soon as they get a bit sweaty and it gets wet, it's like it starts not like legit foaming, but almost, it's so slippery and hard to grab. And it's always the same people because that's their like process of washing the gi. That's how they do it. And they haven't realized that they're actually overdoing it. And whenever you're rolling with him, you're like, oh, fuck. You're like literally rolling with a, washing machine. It's
be more like Kieren people. Just let your mum wash your clothes.
Exactly. Mummy.
Mummy,
gee's dirty. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, don't put too much detergent. But anyway, that's annoying. But anyway, let's get that one out of the way. There's definitely multiple different ways you can be annoying. And I'm sure.
We're going to teach you how.
Yeah. And I'm sure I'm not immune to it. Definitely. I find it hard to believe I wouldn't have rolled with someone who's thought like, fuck, I don't like training with that dude.
Yeah.
You can't please everyone, but there's definitely some universal traits that no one likes. Definitely one of the most cringy, annoying training partners doesn't apply once, I guess to some extent doesn't apply when you're a black belt, more applies when you're lower belts. Is when you tap or are getting the better of a higher belt and then they start coaching you through it.
Oh my God. I hate that so much.
It's so annoying.
I hate that
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, yep, that's it. And keep going. And you're like, bro, I was already here.
Yeah.
Or you tap them and then they go on to say like, something like, oh yeah, but you should have done this when you had mount, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, bro, you should have done this to stop me passing your guard.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's in context, right? Yep. Like, and it also does, I'm just talking about generic training partners. Depends on your relationship with them. Like you would know if you and I had a roll and you tapped me and then afterwards I said, yeah, man, that was good, but this. Like, it's a different dynamic. It's not me trying to discredit what you've done. Same
Unless you were like hands and knees, like hitting, like, like they're in like a war. I would know.
And you're like, ads, you okay? You okay? We're 30 seconds into the warm up. I'm like,
yeah, bro, you should have done that. Yeah. You could read the situation quite clearly. I know when you are letting me work and wanting to see me, and we've spoken about this before, like wanting to see how I finish a position, right? And I know when, well, I don't know when because it's never happened, but I would know if I legit caught you.
Yeah. That'll come one day.
Maybe.
I will. I mean,
I think maybe around purple belt, I might get there.
I mean, when I was a lower belt, I was sort of told, not told, but people would say, a solid purple belt will give a black belt a hard time.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty true with the caliber of athletes nowadays. And you watch some of the, just some Instagram footage of top competitive gyms and let's say like Dream Art or something. You'll just watch an Instagram reel of Azaki Bayance, who's a world champion black belt, training with one of the purple belts in the gym. And yeah, obviously if it's a reel on Instagram, he's not going to post him getting tapped by a purple belt, right? But you see, like, it's not like Azak is just kind of going, oh, well, I don't even have to try here. Like, man, you can see like fucking, like he's fighting to pass that purple belt's guard or to tap them or whatever, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. And yeah, obviously it will and it should happen one day. And if it doesn't happen one day, it either means I'm a bad instructor, or it means you just suck.
You just shit, bro.
You've peaked at blue belt. 0 stripe blue belt peaked. Yep. Wait, do you have any stripes on your blue belt?
You should know this, bro.
Good.
Yeah, good. Good. Fuck you, boy. Yeah. Az gave me 2. I don't know. Nah.
Yeah. So that's, man, so annoying when people do that. And I find sometimes these are annoying training partners. And, if you're listening to this wondering why no one wants to roll with you, it might be due to multiple of these, because it tends to be the sort of person who does one of these will do a few of them. Right? The next one for me that I really hate is when, and I actually even hate this when I'm watching people roll, is when people mid-roll like stop to ask questions or something. It's like, man, you're not drilling, like make a mental note and ask at the end of the round. It's the, that round is the time to roll. Like imagine if you and I were doing a 5 kilometer race and halfway through I was like, hey, Kieren, how do you tie your shoelaces? Stop and show me. Like, I mean, do it at the end. You know, it's not the time that you go. It's different if you're just like, oh guys, it's open mat, right? That would be different. Or it's you know, oh, flow roll, or someone's kind of, you're rolling with a partner who's injured or something, and they're like, oh, can we just kind of whatever. Different. But when it's okay, guys, let's go, you know, 8-minute rounds or whatever.
What about the scenario where you had like a war for like 5 minutes of that 8-minute round, and then someone like gets subbed or whatever, you reset and you have like a 30-second chat? Are you like, no, like go?
Oh, like fucking go. It's time to train.
Fair enough. Fuck,
You know?
I've been guilty of that. Yeah.
Yeah, the only time that for me, and I guess maybe this is a bit more of a niche, like a personal one that I find annoying, but I find it, like I said, annoying enough that even when I see it happening, I'm like, you know, and I'll be watching class and people are mid-roll and Adam, can I ask a question? No, you fucking can't. It's time to roll.
You're rolling,
You
boy.
ask me at the end, you know?
Yeah.
And my students would know. It's not like at the end of class I don't answer questions because, oh, class is up. You know, like, man, you can ask me later. You know, now's your time to roll.
What happened?
And it's
to
also
me,
why when so let's say just a 5-minute round or whatever. When you've never competed, 5 minutes can be really short, or any timer in a round in a competitive scene can be, the minutes can drag on forever when you're winning, because it's almost like if, you know, just wish the time was up and it's over. Or when you're losing and you need to score, there's never enough time. You know, I've lost heaps of fights where it's like, oh, if I had, you know, 10 more seconds or 30 more seconds or whatever. So 5 minutes sometimes is longer than you realize. So when you go compete and anytime there's a break in the fight, the clock stopped, right? You realize that 5 minutes, like 5 minutes of actual rolling can be longer. Whereas if you do a 5-minute round in the gym and every time, you know, there's a little bit of chit chat or every time there's a submission. So of course there's going to be a break in the roll, but that 30 seconds it takes for the guy or the girl to fix their hair and whether they fix their belt or not or whatever, man, you've lost 30, 45 seconds. If it's maybe even if you add all that up and let's say you've lost a minute and that's 20% of your round. You know, so in other words, the point I'm making is it's time to train, you know, like ask the questions later.
Yeah, I need to realign my
the only
procedures
time
there.
For me, the only time that you would kind of take the effort to be like, oh no, we're addressing this now, is if someone did, whether intentionally or not intentionally, like did something dangerous.
Right.
You know, like if someone, you know, I don't know, like, you know, like maybe someone slams you, like they don't know you're not allowed to slam or whatever, or they, you know, did a heel hook in the gi or whatever rule set you're fighting under, training under, they break a rule and you might stop them to say like, oh, you're not allowed to do this because of this, or like, oh, be careful here because it's really like there's a lot of pressure on the knee or something like that. Something where you think, okay, this needs to be addressed now because I don't want to continue to roll with you or for your safety or my safety until we deal with that problem.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I don't think like when I was saying that I do it, I don't like stop and have like a fucking 2-minute chat. But a lot of the time I'll mention something, maybe have like a 10-second interaction with a partner and say, we'll talk about it after. But I think maybe I just hold it to the end and
just shut your mouth.
Just shut the fuck up. Speaking of shutting the fuck up, I think another annoying trait just on this like theme of talking, and it's only happened to me a few times with a few like people, particularly people that I don't know or whatever, is the people that like literally try and talk to you mid-roll. Like you have them in a bad position or whatever and they'll be like having a chit chat with you, you know?
In what way? Like
I roll
Kieren,
with this one guy.
What'd you have for lunch?
Yeah, no, it's more like, it's more like I'm fucking talking about this guy a lot and I don't know why. I got to get it out of my mind, but some random guy came into the gym.
Is this your Joe Rogan?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't even know his name, so he's not that important. But some random guy came into the gym once. I've never seen him since. I think he was just like a drop-in or whatever. And we had a roll and I was getting the better of him during the roll and he kept like making comments about it, like outwardly like expressing his frustration, like, oh, that's how we're going to do it. And just shit like that. And, you know, just talking to me, like just chirping. Like not even like actually having a conversation, just like fucking comments after comment. And it was constant throughout the roll and it was like real creeped out by it. He did the same thing to Aaron. And Aaron was like creeped out by it
I remember
too.
you telling me about this, dude. I wasn't there.
And we spoke about it after. He's like, do you roll with old mate? And he's like, yeah. Did you? Like, yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that sort of shit, freaking annoying. And I think that, I find that shit annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. People. I mean, for me, any sort of any sort of talking during rolling is super annoying. I don't mind people being. I got nothing against people being vocal, as in, you know, like, grunting or whatever. Yeah. Well, yeah, like, you know, you're
sometimes
doing hard, heavy movements or whatever.
Yeah,
but any sort of communication mid-roll is super annoying.
Yeah.
And it tends to be if you do one of those, you kind of tend to be the sort of person who does all of them.
Yeah.
So stop talking mid-roll. It's super annoying, right?
Most of these points are like like someone just talking when you shouldn't, like, or like when it's, you know, not that you shouldn't, but it's like socially awkward. I mean,
if you want to talk, man, ask me I don't know, we can go for a walk.
Add me on Instagram. Yeah. we'll have a chat. But also another.
So give me a phone call and I'll let it go to voicemail.
Yeah, bro. Then you can talk to my voicemail. Another thing that I find annoying, it's not quite like the coaching, but it's similar. It's when after you get a sub on someone and then they have to spend the time, they feel like they need to justify it to you. Like,
the one where they afterwards go, it's more of a crank than a joke.
Yeah, dude. Or like,
fuck off, bro.
Or like, I just tapped to reset, or I just tapped so you would feel what it's like to submit someone. You know, like some of these people are like legit. They're not even joking. They're genuine. You're like, fuck, dude. I'm gonna smash you.
Yeah, actually, we need a good comeback for it. Like if someone says it's more of a crank than a tap, than a choke, be like, you know, oh, I don't know. She's like, oh, did you not tap? No. Oh, you did. Oh, so you did tap. So it worked.
Yeah.
But did you tap? Yeah, just be like, but did you tap?
Did you submit to me?
Yeah, but it was more of a, but did you tap?
Yeah.
You did. Yes. Okay.
If this was life and death, would you have died? Yeah. Yes? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's fucking super annoying. I haven't had that. I mean, I think a lot of these annoying training partner traits sometimes, you know, you don't run into them as much when you're a higher belt. Like I don't know if I've had someone say that to me as a black belt. But I don't know. Actually, yeah, maybe I have where I've had someone say it was more of a crank than a choke. And I was like, man, whatever gets the job done, bro.
I know something that people would say to you all the time that would piss you the fuck off. And I know it does.
I can tell you, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So this is another thing, another point, same sort of like, I suppose, theme is after a roll or after a submission or whatever, someone would say, fuck, you're really tall, man.
Yeah, man, I fucking hate that.
It's like a backhanded compliment as far as they come, because what they are saying to you is, oh, you only won because of your physical attribute.
Yeah, it's so annoying, man. I used to hate that. People would say,
oh, you're so tall.
Oh, man, your legs are so long.
They're so hard to deal with.
Yeah, man, it's so hard to, you know, or something along those lines. Or like, oh, man, people don't say this to me, but, oh, you're so strong, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know, I'm okay at jiu-jitsu too. You know, say something like, I don't know, man, you use your strength really well.
Exactly. Oh, you really leverage your reach advantage, you know. Man, put your head in.
Yeah, I know. Like
that's fucking annoying.
That one's annoying, eh?
That's really annoying.
Because you've got anyone who tells you not to use your strength, your size, your flexibility, your cardio, whatever.
You're not going to say to someone, oh, you're really weak. You should hit the gym, bro. Like your grips are shit, bro. Like, you're not going to say that. So why would you, I don't know. It's sort of like you think it's a compliment when you're saying it, but really it's a justification to your loss. Like, oh, you're really strong, but I'm better.
Yeah.
You know, that's what these like, not all the time, but that's what people are saying, you know, without saying it.
Yeah. I hate when people say that.
Pull your fucking head in. Don't compliment me.
Yeah. That I used to get that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're so tall.
Yeah. You're 6'4".
Bro, and you're so shit. Fuck off.
And your jiu-jitsu sucks, boy. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that one's very annoying. Yeah, you'd probably get you're so strong.
All the time.
Whatever.
Still
yeah, man. It's, you know, you got to use your physical attributes. You know, like
I've worked for like 10 years at the gym to get strong, and I've like decided to partake in a physical sport. Fuck yeah, I'm going to use my strength.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
100%.
Yeah, like you know, or when people say like, oh, so you just use brute force. No, I use force with technique, you know, force with applied technique. You know,
applied technique. One of the major concepts of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. It's like, of course, there's always strength involved. You know, you think like there's no strength and power behind Mike Tyson's punch.
It's ridiculous.
Like it's just all technique. He uses no strength.
Ridiculous.
Of course, he uses strength with impeccable technique. That's how you knock people out.
Yeah, we're literally talking about grappling here. Like it's one person trying to manipulate the body of another person using force and applied technique. That's literally what it is. To take out the strength equation just because you read something online that referred to jiu-jitsu as the gentle art, you know, makes you a bit of a tosser, mate.
I just thought of a new sport. You know how was it in the last episode you were telling me that there's like sex fights or something?
Yeah, sex fights.
What about like, I mean, kind of similar. I'm kind of combining essentially jiu-jitsu and jelly wrestling here.
Nice.
What about like a submission only event thing where you're essentially like you both lathered in baby oil first? Imagine trying to heel hook someone when you're in baby
slippery.
oil. Dude, that heel would be slipping like a bit crazy. You know, imagine trying to like.
Man, that would be really tough. That reminds me of a match I saw.
And then people can throw dollar bills at you.
Yeah, and then you collect it after, and that's how you pay your bills. Yeah, nice. Craig Jones was, I can't remember who he was competing with, but it was on UFC Fight Pass, like one of those events, like where they do grappling in the octagon.
Yeah, I remember he was complaining that the guy's legs were
Vaseline.
slippery.
Yeah, he thought maybe that he had Vaseline or something on his legs, some sort of lubricant, and the ref checked, and then, you know, obviously there wasn't any, and then, you know, to save face, Craig was like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, I think I remember that. I can't remember who he was fighting, but
was
the person said like he'd
was it that
just
Vayner guy?
Warmed up heaps, so it was like quite sweaty going in or something.
Which is what you want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I wonder if you could. Guess it would help if you shaved your legs.
Yeah, I don't know if it would. Maybe it would. Yeah, yeah.
I don't really know.
I'm not going to do that.
I'll shave one leg and let you know.
Which leg would you shave? Which one's your dominant leg?
I think my left calf is nicer than my right calf, so I'll shave that one.
Yeah.
Remember, like from my knee surgeries, they essentially shave like your whole leg. Which I think anyone who's had surgery would know that's quite obvious that they shave you before a surgery. And yeah, like, you know, and then you're walking around in shorts and you've just got like, because it takes quite a while, right?
You need to match them. You did match them, right?
No. Why would I shave both legs?
You got to even it up.
No.
I would have.
Would have you?
Yeah, 100%.
No.
Yeah,
got to give people something to talk about.
Then you're looking wonky.
Down the street.
Look at that hairy wonky dude.
That dude only did one of his legs. What a fucking moron.
Let's bash him. It's just ridiculous.
Imagine getting beat up because you had one shaved leg.
My God. They wouldn't. So annoying traits. What other annoying traits can you think of? I think I've got another one, and I haven't really seen this too much. I've rarely seen it. I could probably count on one hand. Is like the not bragging, but yeah, fuck it. Let's call it what it is. Like the bragging after like class. Like, oh yeah, I subbed this person. I smashed this, but you know, like I think that saying it in front of them is a bit, you know, on the nose. You know what I mean? You don't need to brag about training because it's training.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that very often, but
like it doesn't really happen at our gym, but I don't know. It's one that I want to throw it out there.
Because everyone in our gym's so shit. We just roll around.
Yeah.
Just being like,
we get out the jelly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that very often, but it's definitely not a good thing to do. Another more obvious one would be the kind of guy who's known for injuring everyone. Yeah. And whether that, you know, there could be multiple reasons why you're someone who injures people. It could be because you're, I don't know, maybe you're super spazzy, right? And you might not even be new, but you're just notoriously spazzy. Maybe you're super heavy, you know, so that could be a different trait, which is unfortunate to say like, oh, I don't like training with that person because they're too big. But it happens, you know, like even me being a bigger guy, I would particularly like post surgeries, even when I was back to training, my knees took a long time for me to feel good about them. I would really never want to train with the 100+ kilo guys because I was like, it just, you know, that feeling of, you know, when you see someone else get hit in the nuts, you can feel a bit of the pain.
Yep.
That's how I would feel like just looking at these big guys, my knees would start to hurt, you know? So, but yeah, that person who, whatever it is, cranks submissions, or we had one guy like that in Brazil who was when he was a blue belt and blue belt onwards, but like as a blue belt, he was already had the most savage straight footlock. He would straight footlock everyone, even the black belts. But he ripped it hard. Like the amount of people who would limp off the mats if they rolled with him, and to the point where everyone was like, man, that dude's a fucking dick. He would just rip submissions so hard. Actually, there was another dude like that too. He would do it with arm bars. He would just rip them.
Just don't give you time to tap.
Yeah, man, like zero time to tap. And so no one likes being the training partner who's known for kind of hurting everyone, whether it's well, obviously if it's intentional, you're a fuckhead. But even if you're the person who accidentally injures everyone, you don't want to be that dude.
Yeah, you're still a fuckhead.
You're still a bit of a fuckhead, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think that's like that is more than an annoying training partner. That's being a dick on the mats. If you're doing it intentionally, like you said, to crank just to get the tap, like, man, come on. You can do it under control. It's not a comp, it's not worlds, fuck, chill out.
I'll tell you, we got a few people in the gym who have this annoying trait, and it's more I guess not like you could say a training partner, but this is more specific to when they're your partner for drilling technique. Yeah, people who don't drill properly, who don't play their part properly when you're trying to drill technique. So there could be lots of ways they do it. Maybe they resist while you're drilling. You're like, bro, we're just like we're drilling the technique. Like we're not rolling. Stop fucking resisting. Like. It's supposed to be you shoot, I sprawl, and then I put my seatbelt and take you back. But you're shooting and then re-guarding. You're not letting me fucking get around and put or like you're defending the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Like we're fucking drilling, bro. That dude is annoying. Or the person who I used to drill with this guy in Brazil all the time, and this was outside of class. We would drill, but whether you were with him in class or out of class, he had this annoying trait, which was when it was his turn, like he would drill the technique properly, but when it was your turn, it was like he may as well have been a training dummy in the sense, like a grappling dummy in the sense that, okay, I don't want you to resist, but bro, like I need you to put your foot on my hip here and like
you got to move. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you need to be engaged with me. Like, yeah, you're not resisting me, but like if I'm doing a spider guard pass, like I want you to put your foot on my bicep and hold my sleeve and be present, bro. You just never look at me anymore. Right? So the annoying drilling partner is super annoying.
I think that for drilling, depending on who you're partnered up with, and obviously you'd have that relationship with your training partners, particularly if it's a movement that you've done before, I like to have my training partners give me the first, like if you have 3 minutes of drilling, give me the first 2 minutes or so of like no resistance. So I get the movement, and then maybe the last minute, add a little bit, just keep dialing up like by 5 or 10% so we can like sort of live drill it. But yeah, when they like fully fight you, it's kind of like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like especially from the outset, there's a couple people that do that, like fully like, oh no, you can't pass me. Like, bruh, come on. Yeah. Chill out.
Avoid those people.
Yeah. I have one that probably is one of the most annoying traits that I rank up there with, not as high as being like a unhygienic bug. That's number one, definitely, but it's pretty close. I've sort of saved it. And it's pretty niche. It's only a couple people that have done it to me before, but they still do it. I still see it. It's consistent. Is when people go full dead fish on you.
Oh yeah, that's super annoying.
I find it very, not just annoying, but insulting. Regardless,
you get enough of that in the bedroom. You don't need it. You don't need it at the gym.
Yeah, exactly. So let me paint the picture. So it can either be a belt that's higher or lower than you. It's bad either way. But basically, when it's a higher belt, normally what they do is they'll like full like let you get whatever position and just like literally just like not even move. And they may as well be like you mentioned before, a grappling dummy. They let you do whatever, and so you're like kind of like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? And then they'll all of a sudden just explode and like then start fighting you or whatever, or like just play dead basically, play possum, and it's fucking annoying. Or you'll get the lower belts where you're Like you don't even have the submission on yet, but they fully just give you their arm. Like they're fully like, here you go, take it. Like fully extend it for a sub.
Like, bro,
like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you already had it. No, not really.
No, bro. Yeah, it's like, for example, if they're on like bottom mount or something. Yeah, it's a shit position. Yeah, I'm heavier than you. Yeah, I'm like a belt up, but it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, I slept with your mama.
Yeah, fuck you, girlfriend. But that doesn't mean that you have to like fully extend your arm for me to armbar or like take the fucking whatever. It's just
it's quite annoying.
Yeah, and you're like degrading your partner's training as well. Like,
what about the guy who's like, I saw this on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
he's like, let me try it, and you're like, I ain't catching your fat ass.
Flying armbar.
Yeah, move along, chunky monkey.
That's
yeah.
funny.
I mean,
that dead fish one really fucking irks me, man. There was a particular, I'm not going to name names, but there was a particular person that did it to me. They were higher belt. I was a white belt at the time. And then I didn't fucking like it. They kept doing it. So then I used to just take advantage of it. I'm like, oh, okay, you're going to let me get whatever I want? And then just sub them. Like just take something, just fucking crank it. I'm like, okay, now you're ready to roll? And then after they reset, they get mad because they got subs. So then they come at you. You're like, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, good.
What about the one who like who tries to save face afterwards, you know, you beat them and then they'll say like, oh man, so tired.
Yeah.
Oh man, my back.
Oh, I'm so sore. I got like this real sore. Like,
sorry, I couldn't give you a good roll.
Oh, that is the worst. Like, oh, sorry, I'm really tired today. So like, yeah, oh fuck me. Shut up. Like, shut up. That is so bad.
What about this one, Kieren? I'm looking here. Yeah, I'm reading one. Those who prefer to fall asleep instead of tapping.
Yeah, no comment. Is that annoying though? I don't know, man. It's happened probably 4 times.
Yeah,
to me. That's probably too many. I know a lot of people I've never gone out. But
it's happened to me
times.
Once in my whole, in my whole career. Yeah. So
I'm stubborn. I mean, the first time it happened, I didn't realize I didn't even feel it. Like, so maybe don't count that one. So maybe it's been like 3 times that I definitely should have.
Even when I was demoing the technique on you, I was so close though. You were all like, oh, yeah, no, I'm good. And then afterwards you're like, oh shit.
I didn't, again, that's one that I didn't realize. It came on so quick that I was like resisting and I was about to open, but I forgot. So what we were drilling, I think we've spoken about this. Apologies if we have, but what we're like, Ads was demonstrating a technique. We did. We spoke about it last episode, but as a recap, it's pressure passing half guard where your pressure
essentially
is on
a
the
von
neck.
Flute choke.
Yeah, von Flute choke where your arm's not trapped. So your goal is to open your legs and let them pass to get rid of the shoulder. And I forgot to open my fucking legs and I nearly went out.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you gone out with me before?
Oh man, I think I have. Like, there was one that I think I went out, but not like out as in, you had to like full rouse me. I went out and then pretty much as soon as the pressure released, I was good to go. And it was when you had a guillotine, I believe it was, but it might not have even been a guillotine. It might have been some sort of lapel choke, but I'd passed guard, but you'd let me to finish the choke or something like that. Or you said,
it was probably a loop choke or something.
Yeah, it was like a loop choke or something. I was nearly passed. I committed and then you were like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have tapped there either. That's the only real time I can think of. There was one other occasion where it was close, but I didn't go out.
There'll be more.
Yeah, probably.
There'll be more.
Yeah.
We'll keep you on the list.
Hey, but I've gotten better with tapping to joint locks. I don't hold on to those as long.
That's a smart move.
Yes.
Because you need them.
Yep. I don't need brain cells.
I don't need my 1-2-5s.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that. What calculators are for.
Yeah. Yeah, remember that in school, you won't be walking around with a calculator in your pocket. Fuck off, I will be. I had a computer in my pocket, bitch.
Joke's on you.
Yeah, joke's on you. There's obviously multiple annoying training partners. So if you do any of the stuff we mentioned, stop it. Stop it. No one likes you. No one likes you.
Get some help. Have you seen that meme where it's like the old Michael Jordan ad when he's, I think he's talking about gambling or alcohol or something. He's like, get some help. And they fucking always use that clip.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
although
sort of lost.
Unrelated, but you just reminded me of, I'd only just seen last night the the real meme thing with Will Smith and Conor McGregor?
Oh, dude, it's so good.
For those who hadn't seen it, it's got Will Smith being like, "Get your wife's name out of your fucking mouth." And then it cuts to Conor McGregor and he's like, "Your wife's in my DMs." It's so funny, man.
Shit. Come to after party, baby. Yeah, it's so fucking good. I shared that to my story this morning.
Did you? Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh,
that
man,
was
it's
quite
so funny.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Will Smith. What a flog.
Conor McGregor's a douche too. But
yeah, they both are.
Will Smith, Conor McGregor, your mate Joe Rogan.
Mate,
this dude.
Keep Joe Rogan out your fucking mouth. Keep Joe Rogan's name out your fucking mouth.
I thought I had another. I swear I had one more that I wanted to mention. I made a note of it.
Is it people that mention Joe Rogan all the time?
No, we covered that at the start. I thought I had one more. Sorry, I must have mentioned it, but
all good, baby.
But yeah, come on, guys. I think the overarching one for me. I think I could put them into if I just had to recap it into three.
Yep.
If you're unhygienic, well, just like three. Yeah, one's overarching, but like if you're unhygienic,
definitely
fucking, that's not really annoying. That's just gross, right? If you're the person who always hurts people, and if you talk too much, right.
Boom.
And then actually, let's add a fourth on: the person who doesn't engage correctly, who doesn't drill properly,
or roll. Yeah, drill or roll.
Yeah, like the person who doesn't actually understand the activity that we're taking part of. Like I feel like sometimes I roll with people that if I was playing tennis with them, I would hit the ball to them and they would just go whack and turn around and hit it out of the court on purpose. And you'd be like, do you not understand what we're trying to accomplish here? We're playing tennis. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but look, the dog's chasing the ball. And you'd be like, I don't fucking care. I'm trying to play tennis here. You know, it's kind of like those people in jiu-jitsu. They're super annoying.
We couldn't finish the episode without an analogy. So thank you.
Bro, I got a message from someone who specifically said, "Oh yeah, good episode, blah, blah, blah. The only thing missing were Adam's analogies."
Not this episode.
I should have a little tally to make sure I get enough of them in.
At least
like
one.
almost like a, like it's like some sponsorship quota where you've got to like, okay, per episode, guys, you've got to
mention this product.
You've got to mention, this product at least 7 times.
Man, if anyone's listening to this, they probably think
they want to sponsor us.
yeah, that's even better. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do so by going to our Patreon. No. But I think we'll wrap it up there. We've got plenty of annoying things out of the way.
Send in, guys, if you've got something we missed.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? I want to hear what you think is an annoying trait that we missed.
Or maybe it's like an annoying trait that you think might be niche to you.
Or maybe you have now realized that you're the training.
If you're annoying, we want to hear about it.
If you're annoying, don't contact us.
No, but in all seriousness, if there's anything we missed, we want to know, and then we'll like recap it in a future episode.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could submit it as a audio question for the next Q&A.
Yeah, super soon, episode 80. I think if you're listening to this as it comes out, episode 80 has probably already been recorded.
But you can get it in early for episode 90.
Yeah, boy.
So we take audio questions. To submit an audio question, you can do it from your phone. All you need to do is go to our Instagram page, and the link in our description is our link tree. It's the first link in our link tree bio.
Super easy, guys. It's
super easy.
It's no different to sending a WhatsApp audio message. Right?
Super simple.
Click on the link tree. It has a little record button. Boop, off you go. Send it through, and you'll hear your sexy voice on the podcast.
Excellent. Till next time.
All right, guys, be less annoying.